During World War II, the Gestapo, Hitler's most brutal secret police, issued a chilling order. Capture this woman alive, or kill her immediately. They placed a bounty of over 5 million francs on her head. They mobilized hundreds of agents. They searched from Paris to Marseille, hunting one single person, but for years, they couldn't even touch her, because every time they closed in, she slipped away like a shadow. And every time she returned, it was to blow up an ammunition depot, sabotage a train line, or lead resistance fighters against German convoys. This is the story of Nancy Wake, the woman the Gestapo called the White Mouse, a mouse that made an entire fascist empire tremble. France collapses in just a few weeks. Paris falls. German tanks roll down the Champs-Élysées. The Gestapo spreads its web, arresting, torturing, executing thousands who dare to resist. For many people, the war seems lost. The fight seems hopeless. The fire of freedom seems extinguished. But in the shadows, small resistance groups form, disorganized, under-equipped, desperate, and they need someone bold, someone clever, someone cold enough to stand against the Nazi machine. That person was a woman with dark hair, a radiant smile, and a burning hatred for everything the Nazis stood for. Nancy Wake was born in 1912 in New Zealand, the youngest in a poor, crowded family. From childhood, she was rebellious, wild, untamed. If someone told her no, she made it a mission to do it anyway. At 16, she ran away from home. She jumped onto a cargo ship, worked as a nurse in Australia, and built her life on her own terms. Her path eventually led her to Europe, where she became a journalist. And it was there that she witnessed the moment that changed everything. In Vienna, Nancy saw Jewish prisoners beaten, chained, and dragged through the streets. A child thrown to the ground. A mother struck across the face, blood running down her cheek. Nancy later said, "I wasn't driven by noble ideals. I fought Hitler because I hated him. And I hated what he did to innocent people." A vow began to form, quiet but fierce. If war comes, I will fight. In 1937, Nancy married Henry Fiocca, a wealthy businessman in Marseille. Her new social status gave her freedom to move around the city. Freedom she used in ways the Nazis never imagined. When France fell, Nancy immediately joined the resistance network. She became a crucial courier, transporting secret documents, funds for resistance cells, forged passports for Jews and Allied soldiers, and even weapons hidden in her bicycle frame. And she did all this with flawless confidence. She could walk into a German officer's bar, laugh, flirt, drink wine, all while hiding documents that would have gotten her executed instantly. But what truly drove the Gestapo insane was her ability to vanish. Time after time, the Gestapo raided safe houses mere minutes after she left. 6 major raids. 6 failures. The Germans realized they were chasing a ghost. Frustrated and humiliated, the Gestapo gave her a code name, the White Mouse, because she slipped through their traps. But bit back like a predator, they plastered her face across Marseille. They offered a massive reward to anyone who turned her in. But Nancy didn't slow down. She helped over 2,000 people escape to Spain. She smuggled weapons by the ton. She fooled German guards at checkpoints with a smile. She led fugitives through snowstorms and mountains. One survivor said, "Everyone was terrified. But when Nancy walked in front of us, I believed we would live." But war always demands a price, because the Gestapo couldn't catch Nancy. They captured her husband. Henry was tortured, beaten, interrogated. He refused to betray her. He was executed. From that moment on, Nancy wasn't fighting a war. She was fighting for revenge. Nancy fled toward the Pyrenees, snow, freezing wind, icy slopes. Her escape group was exhausted, starving, freezing. Nancy pushed through all of it. When she reached Spain and finally England, she went straight to the Special Operations Executive, the SOE. This was Britain's elite sabotage force. Their mission: wage war from behind enemy lines. Training was brutal. Nancy mastered blowing up train tracks, destroying bridges, close quarters combat, killing silently, firing Sten guns and Colt 45s, night parachute jump, survival with no supplies. One instructor wrote, "Wake is the most dangerous trainee. Not because she's the strongest, but because she's the calmest when violence is required." In 1944, she parachuted into central France. Mission: reorganize the Maquis Resistance, sabotage German supply lines, and delay reinforcements during D-Day. She didn't just succeed. She excelled. Nancy quickly became the backbone of the resistance in the region. She commanded operations, trained fighters, and joined more than 20 firefights herself. One night, disaster struck. Their radio, their lifeline to the Allied command, broke. Without radio contact, a massive resistance offensive would collapse. Someone needed to travel 72 kilometers through German-controlled territory to get a new radio set. Everyone hesitated. Everyone knew it was suicide. Nancy said, "I'll go." She ran through forests, crawled across hills, dodged patrols. No sleep, no food, just iron will. A Maquis fighter recalled, "We could not believe what we were seeing. No one should have survived that run. But she did. And because of her, the operation went forward, devastating German forces." During one ambush, a German sentry spotted their position. If he shouted, they were all dead. Nancy didn't hesitate. She sprinted forward, overpowered him, and shot him at point-blank range. Her men froze. Not from fear, but from awe. After the war, someone asked her, "Do you regret killing anyone?" Nancy replied, without blinking, "No, they were Nazis, and I was at war." There was nothing more to say. Nancy Wake received medals from Britain, France, the United States, Australia, New Zealand, but she always brushed off praise. She said, "I did what had to be done, and if I had to do it again, I would." She lived quietly in London, then Australia, until she passed away in 2011 at age 98. In France, newspapers honored her as a symbol of courage and freedom. In Paris, a street bears her name. In France's National Memorial, Nancy stands alongside the greatest heroes of the resistance. Nancy Wake, the White Mouse, proved that in war, not all warriors wear uniforms. And sometimes, the one who terrifies an empire is a small woman with a steel heart. Nancy Wake's story is a reminder that even in the darkest hours of World War II, courage could come from the most unexpected places. A single woman, armed not with power or rank, but with will, defiance, and an unbreakable heart, became a legend that even the Gestapo feared. There are countless other stories like hers, stories of bravery, sacrifice, and resilience that history nearly forgot. And here, on this channel, we bring those memories back to life. If this tale inspired you, please consider liking the video, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you won't miss the next chapter of our World War II series. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Your support means the world, and it keeps these forgotten voices alive. This is W2 Memories. Thank you, and see you in the next story.